Mercedes-Benz CLA-45 AMG is the sizzling performance version of the CLA, a four-door saloon based on the A-Class hatchback but styled like the larger CLS. Confused? Us too, but what's certain is that this car is no shrinking violet. It's powerful, distinctive, and it sounds pretty special too, not to mention the stable and assured handling. Interestingly, it's not all that expensive to run either, providing you drive with restraint. Fuel economy is a claimed 40.9 miles per gallon average if you can control your right foot, while CO2 emissions of 161 gkm mean road tax isn't going to bankrupt you either. The CLA-45 AMG shares much of its underpinnings with the A45 AMG, but the main differences between the two are the CLA's far larger boot cost. The CLA is much more expensive, and comfort, since this car is far quieter and has better ride quality, which makes it better suited to longer journeys. High-power petrol engine. The sole engine available has been designed with high-performance driving in mind. It has 355 bhp to call upon and creates 450 Nm of torque, which means a sprint to 62 miles per hour takes just 4.6 seconds. Its top speed is electronically limited to 155 miles per hour, unusually for an AMG model, which would normally have a massive V8 engine under the bonnet. The CLA-45 makes use of a 2.0-liter turbocharged four-cylinder power plant. The main advantage of using a smaller engine is the improved fuel economy and CO2 emissions. Power to all four wheels. The CLA-45 AMG has a four-wheel drive system, which means not only does it have serious power but tons of grip and traction too. Where other AMG models have been known to wheel spin even in dry conditions, this one is likely to be usable in pretty much all conditions. Power is fed through a 7-speed twin-clutch automatic gearbox, which can be controlled manually using the paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. This gearbox also features a race start launch control system, which allows the car to take off at the quickest possible speed from a standstill by holding the revs at a particular level. You also get a sophisticated 3-stage stability control system whereby the driver can decide how much the car electronically intervenes with the driver's inputs. This includes a curved dynamic assist element that kicks in during hard cornering to imperceptibly brake the inside wheels to deliver more precise cornering. Distinctive design. Both the interior and exterior have had the AMG treatment, so you're left under no illusion of this car's sporting intentions. You'll also have the option to further customize your car with extra AMG equipment such as a performance exhaust system or an additional styling package. Like the CLS, the hot CLA forms a new sector of the market. It's soon to be joined by the Audi S3 saloon as a competitor, but upon launch there isn't really anything to directly compare it to. To find out more about this interesting new car, read on for our full and comprehensive Mercedes-Benz CLA-45 AMG review. Mercedes-Benz CLA-45 AMG performance is simply breathtaking. The engine is a 2.0-liter turbocharged unit which generates 355 bhp and 450 Nm of torque. That means a sprint to 62 miles per hour in 4.6 seconds is possible, while top speed is limited to 155 miles per hour. The engine is a great bit of kit. It revs freely and pulls incredibly strongly to the red line, sounding somewhat angry all the way. All that power is fed through a 7-speed semi-automatic gearbox which has many clever features. There are paddles to control it manually behind the steering wheel, and it has a launch control system called Race Start which allows for a perfect getaway by holding the revs at a particular level when the accelerator is pressed. There are 3 driving modes available. C is short for controlled efficiency and provides a more laid-back driving experience with slower gear changes and tone-down engine response. It also activates the stop-start system. S stands for Sport mode, and this makes the car more lively, sharpening up responses and turning up the exhaust's volume. M means the car is controllable manually, and as the name suggests allows the car to be driven using the paddle shifters rather than letting the gearbox dictate when to change gear. During town driving you'll want to leave your CLA-45 in C mode as it's far less harsh and intrusive. Once you want to dial things up a bit though, it'll be time to switch to S mode, which sees far crisper throttle response married to much quicker gear changes. As a four-wheel drive car, there's a tremendous amount of grip available. The car feels great through corners and really inspires confidence. You don't ever feel unsafe, and it feels like the car will run out of talent a long time after you do. The steering is weighted very well indeed, sharpening up noticeably at speed. It also turns in surprisingly well thanks to a chassis advancement which breaks the inside wheel to allow sharper turning circles. There's a three-stage traction and stability control system, switchable between normal ESP on mode where the car intervenes to keep you safe, ESP Sport mode which allows a bit of slip before gathering things up and sends more power to the rear for more driving fun. The final setting is ESP off, which removes the system altogether. There's far more sporting intention on show with the CLA-45 AMG over its regular brother, the CLA. You get some incredibly supportive bucket seats and colored heater vents hint further towards this being a performance car. The multimedia system and trip computer controls work exactly the same as in other Mercedes products, which means it feels like a familiar place to be when you first get in. In terms of driving position, there isn't a lot to complain about. There's loads of visibility and you feel comfortable sat behind the wheel. Mercedes-Benz CLA-45 AMG comfort levels are pretty high. Although it has some seriously comfortable and supportive bucket seats, it also rides quite harshly and may prove quite uncomfortable on poor UK roads. That said, it rides better and is quieter than the A45 AMG, so all is not lost. In terms of noise, any road or wind roar is cancelled out by the visceral cry coming from the engine. There are two suspension setups available, AMG Sport Suspension and the optional AMG Performance Suspension. The former is slightly softer and better suited for road use, the latter more for track driving. At the time of writing, the Mercedes-Benz CLA-45 AMG equipment levels haven't been published yet, although we expect them to closely mirror the A45 AMG in both specification and price. Mercedes-Benz A45 AMG safety is clearly of paramount concern to the German manufacturer, and as such it has fitted a range of systems to keep occupants and pedestrians safe. For this reason, the A-Class and CLA score a maximum 5 stars at Euro NCAP crash tests. As with most modern cars, you get ABS and electronic stability control, although in this case the latter is a three-stage system which the driver operates depending on the type of driving they want to do. Other safety systems include attention assist, which monitors the driver for fatigue and suggests a brake if cause for concern is detected. You also get 9 airbags and automatic headlights along with ISOFIX child seat mounting points and an electric parking brake with hill start assist. Finally, and importantly, you also get excellent high-performance brakes which resist fade well. Perhaps unsurprisingly, the question of Mercedes-Benz CLA-45 AMG practicality is a simple matter of investigating the regular CLA. The interior and boot spaces are exactly the same, which is to say it has a large, long and low boot and a lack of rear headroom for taller passengers. You get the usual cup holders and cubbies along with hooks for hanging up jackets in the back and hooks in the boot for shopping bags.